Hi, welcome back to my channel. On 1st June, we're celebrating Narcissistic Abuse Awareness Day. And literally the entire month of June, basically bringing to light the different kinds of abuse to show the world that we have an insidious spirit going on behind the scenes that many people overlook. Culture has made us kind of romance it, so we expect it in a way, because many times we tend to celebrate some of these people. We want to just let everyone out there know that narcissistic abuse is domestic violence. Please get informed about the different types of abuse, especially those who are planning on getting married. Marriage counselors are not talking about domestic violence per se. They keep whitewashing it with when you disagree, one's weaknesses. No, where abuse is concerned, please talk about the word abuse. Let people know abuse exists. Just like not everyone is godly, not every marriage is godly. There are some people who are going to pretend to be in love. There are some people who are going to pretend to get born again, all in the face of getting hooked up to either the man or the woman interested in abusing in the name of love. I've looked at different types of abuse so far, such as the verbal, emotional, psychological. Well, today I'll be looking at the financial abuse. Narcissists without finances, it is difficult for a narcissist to live. That's why when the Bible says they'll be lovers of themselves and lovers of money, those two, the spirit of self and the spirit of mammon, are blood brothers or blood sisters, depending. So where one is, the other cannot miss. A narcissist is a person who has got a grandiose sense of self-importance. They have got an insatiable need for attention, adulation, affirmation, and admiration, and they lack empathy, among a plethora of other issues such as exploitativeness, entitlement, arrogance, you name it, manipulation. Where abuse is, financial abuse must be. This is why it may confuse people, where when one tells you that the narcissist is lazy, and you're like, but the person is working. The thing is that it's not that they love to work. They know the end result. The work gives them a reward. The reward is money. That money helps them control people. Everyone has a price tag. Money is power. Money is control. Money is dominion. So when they are having money, they know they control the atmosphere. When they don't have the money, they can be so rageful. And if one is married, this is why you're going to find they are controlling their partner's finances, as in tooth and nail. They control each and every aspect. How much you're spending, where you're eating from, what food you're buying, what undergarments you're buying. I mean, they are that strict. With financial abuse, the list is really endless. I'm going to start with the love bombing, not as a phase, but when they are love bombing, you're right at the very start. You're going to find that usually the grandiose narcissist and the malignant narcissist, I encourage you to look up those videos, they have a tendency of splashing a lot of money, such that the person, their target or their victim, gets hooked. You're now looking at the dopamine, serotonin, and the others are coming into play. This sets up someone to get hooked. When the narcissist has realized that you're now hooked to the lifestyle they have accustomed you to, maybe they are taking you on trips, you're eating out, breakfast is ordered, all that. They have studied you, by the way. The narcissist doesn't just approach you like that. They have studied you, so they know with all this lifestyle they are throwing at your feet, you're now hooked. They start withdrawing. They can plan a trip with you, and you call them and they're like, no, I mean this, and you're like, but you promised this day we're going, we're having a trip to Dubai. And they're like, no, you actually annoyed me, I'm tired. Or they may help cover your parents' medical bill or a friend's medical bill, and you feel loyalty towards this person who is helping you during this difficult time. Well, their whole game is just to hook you up. After they start withdrawing it, and then you start working hard to get back in their good books, and in the process you're actually walking on eggshells to avoid stepping on their toes. Now when people say that, oh, these people are over the top with everything they are giving you, go slow. There's a category of people, the vulnerable narcissists. These people tend to be stingy. Their love bombing is the pity party. Oh, woe unto me, they hate me. Woe unto me, they didn't give me the job I had asked for. Woe unto me, my salary was cut. Woe unto me, I don't have anything. Woe unto me, my parents rejected me. Woe unto, I mean, it's pity party. They are kind of always broke. Sometimes they may take you out here and there, but many a times they are broke. So without you realizing, you actually find that you are the one injecting the money. As you're going out, you're done paying for the bills, you're buying something, you also buy for them, and because you have accustomed you to thinking that they are broke, they are poor, they are, they are going through a whole lot of financial trouble, and you do not want this other backload of, take me out, or pay the bill for me too. You're more like, think you've now become a charitable zone of, let me pay for you. Let me pay for you. You realize they haven't even asked you, but because of the story they have told you, they have manipulated you into paying for them, into catering for their financial backload. 2, they are passive aggressive. These are the people who you're going to find they'll make derogatory statements, devaluing statements of, let's say you picked a cloth from a particular store and someone asks you, by the way, did you pick your cloth? I love it. I love the colors. It looks great on you. They appreciate your cloth, and you're like, I bought it from such and such a store. Then they may roll their eyes, or they may sigh. They're like, oh boy, can you really afford a cloth from such a store? Yeah, that is financial abuse. They make you feel that you cannot afford something. These people, you'll find a narcissist who doesn't want to work. Many times, like I told you, they are lazy. They don't like to work, except when the returns are good, like I'd said. But many times, given any day, you'll find these people just on video games. They're on TV, they're on phones. They are not working, but they dress nice, they smell good. Not all, some. They are wearing, designer this, designer that. They have the latest phone, and you're wondering, where do they get the money from? 4, they'll ask for your money. They'll ask for you to give them money. They'll want you to work and you bring the money. They'll ask you for upkeep. They want to go and hang out with the boys. They need to cater to their needs. And they're spending by the lavishly. Narcissists have this game with them. About narcissists and the money, they will either have total control or partial control. Partial control, where especially they see you're getting enlightened about their abuse, and then they kind of start giving you cramps on you managing here and there. But many times it's total control, because even in the partial control, they are still totally controlling the situation, because they know you are aware. So they are trying to play a psych game on you by making you think that you are working together, you are in control of certain things while they're in control of certain issues. But in essence, they are trying to control the entire atmosphere at that point. So don't be fooled by that partial control. I'll piggyback off the 4th one. The narcissists have this tendency of, when you're working, your money is our money, also my money. As in, my money, I must control it. But their money is theirs. No matter the situation, they'll want to control how you're spending your own money even. And you'll also find that if they're earning more than you, they really belittle your earnings. They water them down. They are nothing. They're done doing the backlog. They'll demand for receipts. That is especially the partial control I was talking about. They'll give you money. You go shop on a budget, by the way. When you come back, they're asking for the receipts, and they can do it in a very, benign way. You may not think much of it. However, it's always checking out. They want to get you having committed a crime so that they can, chew you up really good. And you're going to find that you may spend on basics, basic necessities. Complain you are spending a lot, yet they are spending almost half their salary a night. There are people who buy food, like they are living in this grand home. We talk of the white picket fence kind of family. On the outside, these people here are being charitable to different organizations, the poor. This one has cancer, the other one has this, they need this. They are giving to the public, but their family barely has food. A few years ago, there was this guy who would leave 5,000 Ugandan shillings. That was about $2. for their family. Guys, for the family. And you're looking at a family of about 4, and then relatives. He leaves about $2. This is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he has left, for the family. Guess what? He is spotted out KFC, guys, with these 2 buckets of chicken. 2 buckets. You're looking at over 100,000. I think about 100 and something thousand. Almost $40 or something like that. And he was done paying the bill. And at home, he has left $2. 2. Do you know, if you haven't understood this abuse, it will chew you'll lose brain cells because you're trying to think, what is wrong with this person? But it is all about control. And when he would come home, he would despise the food that has been left. The wife has struggled to make sure she makes a meal, a sensible meal out of the 5,000 for all these people. I think there were a total of about 8 or 9 with 5,000 shillings. 8, micromanaging. They are going to do each and every shopping in the house. They are paying off bills. They are buying whatever is needed. They do not want you to have money. In case there's a problem and there isn't anything there, they would rather you go to the shop attendant and they talk to the shop attendant, then they wire the money to the shop attendant on their mobile phone, so that you may not touch money. They are that, stingy. They do not want you to hold any money, because the moment you hold it, that you're going to feel big. No, that is an abusive person. 9, they promise to help you out. This is where they'll promise to say share the home bill. One will cater for tuition, the other household items. You'll find that you are bearing the bulk of every bill in the house, and both of you are working. And to make matters worse, I've seen this a lot. The man could be having this 6-figure salary and he's not paying any bills. And you wonder, where does the money go? Ever for him, he has projects to do. Aren't you earning? But I'm carrying out everything. When are you helping me? My money is mine. Your money is our money. Aren't you working? Cater for everything. Hey, I have this project. I have the other project. I got a loan. I'm paying back this. I'm paying back that. You'll find over the years, especially for the married people, you realize you've been the only one shouldering the financial block the entire period. This literally goes against godly counsel. Husbands, love your wives. Wives, submit to your husbands. Men are providers. Love provides. Love is God. God is a giver. God provides. You as a husband, you should be providing. Women are receivers. However, that doesn't mean that if you're earning, you should sit back. No, bring it to the table. Share it. See how you manage the family together. 10. This is one of the biggest mistakes I've seen happening, especially among couples. Narcissistic partner pledges to help. They pledge this huge sum, and many times their partners are like, that is too much. And they're like, you're in my pocket. They know their partners, but they pledge, and guess what? Each time they see you, they are seeing him. He pledged and he's nowhere to be seen. He'll give, he eventually doesn't give. They don't trust you. Many times that's how they'll be like, I don't trust your husband, I don't trust your wife. She promises but she never fulfills. A bad name out there. 11, borrowing money. These people here tend to borrow money such that they can meet their over-the-top lifestyle, but they cannot pay back. The thing about narcissistic personality disorder, there's a thing about, like I said, that there are other disorders in there. There are other issues involved. You're finding either histrionic or antisocial personality disorder. There's another disorder many times found among these people, and that is OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. That disorder has a stinginess to it. They don't give. When they give, everything you get from a narcissist is abuse. Theirs is not a real gift. Every gift has a string attached to it. You must pay for it. 12, they refuse you to work. If you don't work, I want you out. If not, we are having a divorce. If not, something such that you stop working and you depend on them. Never make that mistake of stopping to work because your partner has said so. Never, never. If they want to walk out because of that, let them go. The moment you lay your tools down because of that, that is where total control is coming in. Any well-meaning partner would want you to work. If they see that there's a strain at home, even you yourself, you'll see it. You would start praying and believing God for a job that will give you fewer hours. If they're giving an ultimatum of either they leave or they either leave or they job, let them go. Let them go. The moment you let go of that job, you are now totally depending on them. And they will take you around the world, but in the mud. And if you refuse to buckle to their demands, they are going to harass you at work. They are constantly calling. They'll come and create drama at work. I mean, they'll do whatever it takes so that you get fired from your job. 13, they are going to make poor financial decisions and blame you for it. They happen to have seen this nice car on the market. They're going in for it and all that. And you're like, but we had planned for this. No, I want this car. It's a one-time thing. If I don't, but please, if you buy that car, I won't be able to cover this. Eventually they're like, I'm just going to buy it. They buy the car. Let's say along the way they get an accident. You are the curse. You spoke ill. You didn't want him to have it. So the words cursed him. Your words cursed him. And that's why you got an accident. They can never take responsibility. 14. These people are always running like 1,001 projects. Someone who is everywhere but nowhere, those are the narcissists. They are running up and down like they are so active. Like talk of this headless chicken here. So active. Like in at the end of the day, where the returns, hako kicho yote, there's nothing to show for it. But you saw the person moving up and down and they were assuring you how they're doing everything. And you had no say. Any financial decision the other one's making, all those decisions, you don't understand. For them, they know these things better. They are talking to experts. It fails, you are still to blame. Because you didn't encourage me. Because you are rude. Because you aren't talking to me. You did not pray enough. 15, stealing from friends. These are people who go and borrow money from different people and they don't pay back. It soils your name. That trust is broken and we all need friends. We all need people who are there, genuine friends. But they now go to the inner, like especially the men. This I've seen a lot. The man goes and starts borrowing from the inner circle of the woman. And many times they are using the woman's name. And because the inner circle trusts the woman, they're like, she will pay back, only to later on learn that she didn't send him. And it is so embarrassing. There's this time when I remember I met a lady, we were talking and she was like, I need to call my friends. Her husband would go and talk to different people about lending him money and he doesn't pay back. I would see that shame, and she was calling up people to tell them not to lend her husband money. If ever he calls and asks them, they may decline. She hasn't sent. If she needs the money, she'll call them herself. I think during that period, about 2 of her friends had told her he had called them. Unfortunately for the 2, they did not have the money at that time. But when he called to find out later, he wasn't giving up. He called to find out later if they had gotten the money as they had promised. Because they had been given the heads up by the woman, they said it's impossible. The sources of the money weren't able to give them the money. And that's how she saved that day. She maintained those close friendships. But it is just embarrassing. Another thing, tactic, confusion and chaos. These people start a quarrel late at night. So you people go on into the morning hours, you people are quarreling. You may even be silent at this point and you're like, I need to sleep, I have work tomorrow, I have a presentation, I have to be up early, we have a meeting, something. And the person is relentless. They are quarreling. This keeps you up at night. You can't sleep. By morning, you're literally worn out. Your brain is exhausted. These people purposely keep you awake such that in the morning, you cannot be at your best. And in the process, you fail, say, your presentation, or you misrepresent your presentation. Not meeting the expectations of the company at that point. Before you know it, you're losing your job. The other ways, you may also find that they'll constantly text you, they are calling you. they are just all over you at work, and it's like, we have you as an employee, not your husband or your wife. They also sabotage you by hiding your kids in the morning. They will convince you to take care of the kids. You're the best mother. These kids need a person at home. You can see what house helps are doing to children. And you actually see the sense in it. But don't be fooled. Always listen to your gut feeling. In the event this person is not available, what happens? Am I able to stand on my feet? Am I, look into it. If you're not, please drop it. Seek the face of God on that issue. But don't hang the gloves regarding your job until God has told you can go ahead. I don't know which number I'm on. But you'll also find that these people here will convince you to sell family property. And after they have done that, you give them the money. Potea. You'll never see it again. You did it without the family's knowledge. They are going to go behind your back and tell your family. You can see the rift. And the family is backing him. You are now the outsider. How could you? You can't even deny that you gave him the money. You gave it to him for business and the business collapsed, but he did not know. And yet he set the ball rolling in that area. These people are malicious. These people are also going to blame you for stealing money. Like I told you, Narcissists project, do not take it personal. You know you're keeping records. You know your account's good. The moment a narcissist accuses you, in this case of stealing money, no, they are stealing the money. How, you may not know, from where, you may not know, but one thing be certain, they are stealing money. Another thing, you've worked hard, gotten someone and bought a car. Someone may gift you this car. They'll demand you don't drive the car. I'll give an example of Osinechu, the worshipper who got killed. Her being a worshipper, she was loved. People would bless out several gifts, and among them were cars. People now get to learn later. What was so shocking was that there were moments when, and certain times when, Osinechu's husband would tell her to get out of the car. Imagine they've driven out of church. She was the breadwinner, but everything was handled by him. There are stories of how she would walk home. There are times she would be on a boda, a motorcycle, to go home. They would see on a motorcycle, and yet she has cars. That would baffle them. Sometimes, okay, it may be quick transport, but it's now later on that people go to learn that the man was controlling her. That by the time he's sending out of her own car, he has beaten her, slapped her in the presence of the children, by the way, and she's thrown out of her own car. There were times when she was locked outside the house, as in she's outside her own house. It is horrendous. All that you see is financial abuse. They take charge of what is yours. You cannot enjoy the benefits of your hard work. That is them. And they'll also want to discredit your hard work in the process. Even if, say, she wasn't the breadwinner. But in certain cases, you're going to find even whatever you're doing, the person discredits it. So that you don't see that you're bringing anything to the table, yet you're bringing a lot to the table. And this I'll talk to the homemakers especially. Many times the men will discredit you. You're not, I'm the breadwinner, and they're putting bread and butter on the table. Woman, they cannot equate how much work you're doing in the house. You're cleaning up. You're cleaning the baby. You're cleaning up the place to make sure the environment is clean. You have to cook food. You have to even be doing the cooking yourself, all this hard work. But the mere fact that you have to supervise, supervision is also work, so don't underestimate that. You're doing all this work, and yet you are not getting any payment for it. You do not have time out. For them, for them it's 8 to 5, they are out. 8 to 6, they are out. For you, it is 24/7. You're sleeping, the baby is looking for the nipple around. You must breastfeed. You're constantly going back and forth. You're laying the beds, you're folding clothes, you're ironing. It is 24/7 for you. So do not underestimate that. The fact that you're working and they do not even give you some allowance, that is financial abuse. Because they expect you now to go to them. May I have this? May I have that? And yet they do not even want to have a house help within. They complain it's very expensive. Money, you're now thinking, if he doesn't have money, I also don't have money. I think let me do this housework so that I can offset something. They don't take that as an endeavor. They don't appreciate that. Rather, they look at it as an entitlement. You must do that. Say the discard phase. In Uganda here, there's one which has been in the media for years. That is Bujingo and Pastor Teddy. Pastor Teddy she has gone through that drag. We've seen it all together, where even the kids had wanted, they're in university, and for us here, many African countries, we are not like the people out that when the child reaches 18, they can fend for themselves. Here, our parents even cater for university. So they are able to do that. Or you're working, you chip in. But many times our parents do help us. So you find through university, our parents are catering for tuition, upkeep, even hostel fee, and all that. But now Bujingo, in his position as a so-called pastor, when things got out of hand with his wife, Pastor Teddy, he withdrew finances. That was financial abuse. People do not realize this. People do not get it. But that is all control. Many people don't understand this. Why is that even rejected his own children? The thing is that none of his children are allowed to be dominated by him, allowed to be under the control of him. How Pastor Teddy managed to see to it that none of her children ends up like him, that is the grace of God, people. It is the grace of God. Despite him having the capability of giving the money, I think one of the daughters was doing an error something course. I don't remember it so well. And she was either having her last semester or second last semester, something of that nature. And he doesn't give anything. They take him to court, and court says, after 18, he's not legally bound to it. The whole thing is this, him not giving his children that money, none of them is under his leash. That is something people don't get. Pastor Teddy refused to Pastor Teddy got done with the leash. She started living her life as unto the Lord. He hated it. Narcissists want to be in control of you. The way you submit yourself to God is the way a narcissist wants you to submit to them. But the word of God tells us you cannot serve two masters, Mammon and him. You serve one of the two. And when you're serving a spirit of self, you're serving a spirit of Mammon. Because like I said, these are what? Blood brothers or sisters. Also refusing to pay for the young boy's tuition, who is under 18. That is all financial abuse. It is all about control. But when COVID hit, they are collecting money. He gave, I think, 100 million. That was about $28,000. He gave to, the government to help out, but he can't help out his own family, his own kids. We always say, children's things, what parents are fighting over, let children not get involved. That is a lie when it comes to an abuser. As long as you're not on their side, you're against them, period. You're either for me or against me. And anything against me, whether a child or not, I don't like. And I don't have anything to do with them. That is how abusers think. You cannot alter an abuser's mind from that mindset. They don't help out, but they're going to help out the public. You can see how there's this face for the public and there's this other face for the family. That's how they do it. But the overt grandiose who Bujingo is, I mean, he doesn't care. I'll talk about the religious narcissist at another date. Narcissists cannot be Christians. People get it here. You can't serve self and God. It's either God or self. Now what Pastor Ted is going through, we are looking at post-separation abuse in terms of finances. Abusers love to control. That's all. The moment they're in control, they're at peace. Because people are giving them their attention. We cannot live without you. You're the air we breathe. Remember, abusers get their identity from the outside, not inside. You as a born again, you're Christian. Greater is he that is in the inside of me. That is the Holy Spirit. Than who is of the world. That is the devil. The mere fact that they are getting their identity from out, it means they're getting it from the devil. The means by which they have to get it from the outside has to play alongside the devil's ways. The devil is a liar. The devil is manipulative, is exploitative. I mean, you name it. Every trash can you can think of is the package. Abusers For abusers, it's all about control. They will love to control each and every situation you're going through. For you to overcome financial abuse, set boundaries. Start up a project. It may not be much, but can sustain you. Make sure you do not lose your social connection. Because in the event of anything, let's say all goes downhill, at least you may have family or a friend who can stand with you during such a difficult time. Financial abuse, it has got so many facets to it, but I hope you can get an understanding of it. Young people who are hoping to get married, please go through these different types of abuse. Church is not talking about them, yet God hates abuse in all forms. So I encourage people, please take charge of your finances, learn how to manage finances. Healthy relationships breed growth. Unhealthy relationships breed death. Could be psychological, physical, spiritual, but they breed death. Financial abuse is domestic violence. Thank you so much for watching. Blessings.